Gone? Yay. Happy Friday again, everyone. We apologize for being late, and I promise you it was not because of CP time. It wasn't it. It wasn't. That's a coincidence. That's just a mere coincidence that we're late and we happen to be African American. Okay, so just say it. Just don't, yeah. So, welcome to the social media scene. I am Alice Fuller, principal consultant at Sheer Social, and I see my illustrious co-host is looking a bit uh, unsure.
How about I just introduce myself? My name is Chatachi Egwu. I am the other half of the sheer social media scene, the social media scene. That's kind of cool, though. My name is Chatachi Egwu. Once again, I am a media professor, a media maker, a filmmaker, and all-around media lover. Pleased to be back for episode 110 of the social media scene.
Yes, well, yes, I'm glad you're still here too, because we had a couple of I can't even say it, difficulties, technical difficulties in the industry, as we would call them. Well, never mind, because a curse word is involved, but we usually call them, and
That's okay.
I'm trying to keep this G rated. So,
But guess what? We sound good. We
yeah, we
sound
sound
good. So
good
don't
now.
even.
Yeah, now
Yeah.
yeah. Do we look good? Because this is
Yeah.
not
Oh, we look great.
okay. Because this
And
is
Jay
not a
Block
podcast.
says hello.
Hey, because this is not a podcast, not yet. So
No, no,
that
no.
is
Yeah,
coming.
podcast you can look any damn way, but
That is coming, but we gotta have sound, we gotta have video, and I forgot one other extra element today. But no, try. Well, you know what? Should I dare try to do that right now on air, or should I not?
leave
No,
whatever the hell it is that you're trying to do alone. Don't test God. Welcome, everyone. I see it in your eyes, Alice Fuller. You're wanting to do some of your hocus pocus,
It's not
magic
magic.
and nocus.
It's not magic.
Hmm.
It's not magic. It's
You,
really not.
you and your
See,
magic.
boom, there it is. It's not even magic. See there? The title. We gotta have
Oh,
the title. Because
okay. I
otherwise,
was good like this, but you know what
no, because
exactly?
otherwise,
Boom.
if this is shared, it's just two African American women talking. So otherwise, we gotta have a little bit of
And there's
title.
already a show called Black Girls Talking, so
Really
yeah, we can't do that. There is. There's a podcast called Black Girls Talking. It's
interesting.
actually really awesome.
Well, I
Yeah,
would
check it
hope
out.
so
Check
with
it out.
that title.
You have to be. You can't be out there like that. Like I listen to Black Girls Talking and Black Girl Nerds.
I know.
You have
Yes.
to come with content if you're gonna have nomenclature like that. So
Yes. Now, Black
they're
Girl
actually
Nerds,
great.
I'm quite familiar with because I hit them up a lot on Twitter, so we go back and forth on Twitter with them. So yes. So again, I digress. Welcome to a new episode of the social media scene. So despite the little issues we had earlier, we're going to go ahead and get started. Now today we got a couple of things popping. We got Facebook. Got some new things popping with Facebook every week. Seems like we got some new
Yes.
we got some new things with Twitter. Seems like every week, which is good. Well, yeah, it's all good. It's all good. Hold on, Twitter. Hold on. Just hold on. Okay, so then we've got some Apple stuff. We got to talk about Apple because we just got to talk about Apple. Okay, so
Oh
we got to talk
yes.
about Apple, and then we've got some Instagram and freelancers. All the freelancers in the building. All
Whoop
freelancers.
whoop.
Woot woot. Okay, I got some interesting things for you concerning LinkedIn. So don't go nowhere. Okay, so just chill for a minute. So and then we got some other interesting things happening with Pokemon internationally that I think what you might find interesting. Okay, so my illustrious co-host
Yes.
who has taken dubious notes on the Apple event that was it Wednesday? Wasn't it Wednesday?
It was Wednesday. It was Wednesday.
So go ahead, because there's a
Okay.
lot popping with the
There's
Apple.
a lot. So I'm going to try not to keep it super long because I know
Yay!
that we have, no, I'll be quiet because I know that we have a lot. of other social media stuff that we have to get to. But we can't ignore Apple because remember, the hardware is the conduit through which the software, meaning the apps and the social media we use, comes through. So it's really important to pay attention to this. And, incidentally, this was not the only event that day. PlayStation 4, Sony's PlayStation 4 had they didn't call it an event, they called it a meeting, because if you try to call it an event, you're just going to be upstaged by Apple. So they had the Sony meeting. So I think it was really, that was a full day of events. So, all right, let's talk about this. There were months and months of rumors about what was going to drop, what was going to happen, and all the rumors ended up being true. So there was very little drama because people were basically like, oh, okay, we knew that was coming. Yeah, we knew that was happening. So very lackluster in terms of the show and drama. But there were a couple of important and interesting things that came up.
Okay.
Let's talk about them. All right. So number one, the iPhone. That was the star of the show. Okay, so the iPhone and the Apple Watch were basically the stars, the iPhone being the bigger star. So this was the worst kept secret ever. We knew what was coming. So let's talk about what dropped with it. So it comes in the standard and the plus model. So you've got the iPhone 7 and then the iPhone 7 Plus. Okay, and the Plus obviously means that there are some more features than are on the standard 7. It's going to be available in a high gloss black, which they're calling jet black, which is a matte black. And they haven't had a black iPhone ever, I don't think. No, they haven't. It's always been white and then the other colors. So this is the first time. And then silver, gold, and of course the rose gold. Now the home button is force sensitive and the iPhone is water and dust resistant. Okay. This is the big thing. I don't know why they were messing around with this 16 gig phone in the first place. You take one video, that's all of your memory. Now, standard starts at 32 gigs. So you've got 32, 128, and 256. 32 just makes more sense. Really, 64 makes sense, but I digress. Baby steps, Apple, baby steps. Okay. There's also a camera upgrade that's coming to the iPhone 7 and 7 Plus. So the iPhone 7 is offering optical image stabilization, okay, which is great for those of you that are doing riding motorcycles or motorboats or as passengers and taking footage. This is a good thing for you. And it also has a wider lens for sharper, better images. So there's a new 12 megapixel sensor that works 60% faster, apparently, than Apple's older iPhone cameras. There's also a flash, which they're calling the LED True Tone Flash, which gives you 50% more light. More light equals better coloring and a better picture, okay? So this is good for photos in low light environments. And they actually demonstrated some of these, the photos and things that they took, they actually look really good. I'm not going to say, I haven't seen them up close. I only was watching the event. So I'm not going to say it parallels what you would get on a DSLR or some other higher end photography camera, but these look pretty good. And they took a multitude of things. I was really impressed with the fact that they took a picture of a black person and a white person together against a blue background, and the coloring was good, because we know, you know this as a production person too, the challenge of getting people with two different skin tones to look even is difficult. So they did a good job with that. Kind of impressed with that. Both of them have front-facing cameras, okay, of course, and the iPhone 7 Plus and 7 have been increased to 7 megapixels for the rear-facing camera, up from 5. This is the big thing. The iPhone 7 Plus also has dual cameras on the back. 2 cameras. One is telephoto lens. The other one is a wide angle lens, which is actually my favorite lens to use. No more headphone jack. Ladies and gentlemen, they done jacked the jack. So it happened. We were hearing about this, the rumor that they were trying to make room in the phone by getting rid of the 3.5 millimeter jack. They did it. They jacked the jack. So instead, there's a couple of options you have. You can still use your traditional headphones. You will just need to use a lightning port adapter, because now the input is lightning. Number 2, it does come with headphones, okay, that are Lightning adapted headphones, so you could use those. Or number three, the big deal of the day was made about the Braun toothbrush heads. Oh, excuse me, I mean the AirPods, because they look like Braun toothbrush heads to me. So they are AirPods, and they basically fit inside your ears. You can go. Normally, we would have a photo of it, but because of our technical difficulties today, we did not. But you are able to go in and put them in your ear. And here's the thing: when you open the container that they're in, they automatically connect to both. They can connect to your iWatch, sorry, Apple Watch. I always call it the iWatch, and to the iPhone. Automatically connect, so you don't have to go through the rigmarole of doing that. So that's kind of convenient. All right, a couple of more things from the Apple event. Apple Watch debuted. A couple of things with the Apple Watch. So Hermes, this is Fashion Week, so I'm kind of giving it. We have some other fashion related stuff. This is New York Fashion Week, and Hermes, of course, is a big fashion house from France. They have some new bands for the Hermes watch. So if you're into the leather band thing, you'll be happy to know there are some new bands from Hermes. Also, you can use your Apple Watch to play Pokemon Go if anybody still cares. So yes, now you can. They're really focusing on people getting healthy. That's really the thing about the Apple Watch this event. They were focusing on getting healthy. Sorry, Jay Block says Apple will always make devices that require upselling and add-ons. The camera, of course, is always a focus. Absolutely, Jay. So they're trying to focus on getting healthy. So now again, Pokemon is compatible with iWatch. It will tell you how far you need to walk to catch certain things or to hatch an egg, for example, and alert you when you're near a Pokestop. And then when you're done playing, you can track how many calories you've burned and how far you've traveled. So now you'll use the GPS to get back home because you probably have no damn idea where you are. So speaking of the Apple Watch, there is a new Apple Watch on the block, and this one is swim-proof as opposed to just splash-proof. So swim-proof meaning up to 50 meters you can get in the water and you won't have any issue. This is about the same as your standard sports watch though, okay? So it also contains an S2 processing chip. This is going to give you sharper graphics, higher detail in your apps, which is important for those of us. And you have some app news in terms of that for your phone anyway. So for the Apple phone rather, and then allows for sharper graphics. All right. And this is the big thing. It's also available in a ceramic white finish, which is actually, it looked really pretty. So I was concerned about that at first, but apparently it's 10 times stronger than the normal metal that they have. So, all right, if you want that ceramic finish, you can get a nice little touch of glam. All right. The other thing about the Apple Watch is that Nike and Apple really want to get you off of the couch and up running. So this new Apple Watch Nike Plus is aimed at runners. In fact, you can do things like, well, your distance and your pace are going to be displayed very clearly. And they have this new feature called Are We Running Today, which seems really annoying when I saw it. It will ask you, it will nudge you to get out there and do things. So it will ask you things or put things, it's 62 degrees outside. Are we running today? You haven't been out in 6 days. Are we running today? And every day it gives you this annoying message. Well, it could be motivating for some, annoying for others, but of course you can turn it off. It's available in 4 tonal shades that range from black to gray. So last few things, Mario is coming to the App Store. Super Mario Run will be available in the App Store thanks to a partnership between Nintendo and Apple. You'll be able to play with battle mode users around the world. So here's the social end of it, okay? And the game is designed to be played with just one hand, okay? And last thing, group projects are going to get easier. There's a lot more, but these are some of the highlights. Apple's iWork suite, which is Pages, Numbers, and Keynote, they're going to be enabled with real-time collaboration. So now you and your work colleagues in general, can update slideshows, spreadsheets, and documents from a number of devices. Now, there's a bunch of other things that went on there. You can actually go and watch the replay of the Apple event on YouTube. Just go to Apple's YouTube, and you'll be able to watch from there to get the full details of what happened, because there's so much more.
Breathe.
I'm breathing. I was trying to get it out. J Block asked if they are Bluetooth and about charging the earplugs. Good question. They're wireless, so I am assuming yes that they are Bluetooth. I haven't been able to find anything about the exact connection. I don't think it's a proprietary new type of thing. I think they indeed are Bluetooth, and I don't know about the charging.
Okay. So, if I appear to be a little distracted, it's because I am. I'm looking at the video quality, and we look good. However, uh, I want to know for those that are here that are watching, and or that are really watching and not just listening, if there's a considerable lag, um, and I want to know if that's a problem. Because if it is, as we do in TV, we can do scene and try it again next week, or we can keep going. I'll let the audience make the decision, because at the end, in the end, I have to consider I have to consider my audience, not just myself. So, if the audience, Jay, Kim, I know you're here. Um, Let me know if the lag is how big the lag is, and let me know too if it's a big problem as far as.
Jay says the little lag, but the audio is great. Keep going.
Okay, all right, that's one vote. Any other votes? You he has a deciding vote because it's the only vote.
And I'm adding my vote to his because it doesn't look like it's so huge. It's a little bit of a lag, but we're already in. I
Yeah,
say
but
keep going.
okay. Well, all right then. Okay, so don't be surprised if you get a call to do a retake. That's all I'm saying. Just
Yeah, I won't answer the phone. Here we go.
all right. So, all right. So now that we've got the highlights of what happened at the Apple event, now here's the thing. I think I could break that down to two things. Really, for me, I think for a lot of people, and we're both filmmakers. So for us, one of the biggest things is always the camera. It's always one of the biggest things you want to hear about. What kind of pictures can we take? Is there a better zoom? Uh, what's the overall quality going to be? So for those of you who like to take a lot of pictures, especially and put them on Instagram probably is one of the first to kind of jump out of the box and go ahead and upgrade its app for the Apple 7.
Hmm.
So,
Hmm.
I just started thinking about, like, one reason maybe we had so many technical difficulties is because so many people are trying to order the phone on the internet.
Well, damn it, does it have to interfere with what we're doing?
Well, hey, sometimes life is funny. So what's
Sometimes it's like that.
yeah, sometimes it's like that. So what's going to happen with Instagram? Now we're not talking about the other, like your Snapchats and the other ones, but Instagram has literally jumped ahead of everybody else as far as tweaking its app to prepare for the new Apple 7. So what's going to happen is you'll have all of Instagram's color filters are being redesigned. Basically, so the colors will be, yes, it'll, yeah. If you don't look like somebody who was what show was that? Never mind. That's some old Broadway choreography. That's some old. I don't know what
Whenever
that.
you say colors or redesign, that's
She got the. Okay, Bob Fosse. All right. Well, I'm sorry. We won't do Bob Fosse. Well, we'll say never mind. I digress. So, Instagram. Okay, so Instagram filters, they're going to redesign the filters so you'll get more vibrant colors. Okay, that's nice. I think that's nice. Everybody will play with that for a second. Then the 3D touch on the phone will let you jump right in once you take your picture or whatever. It'll let you jump right into Instagram stories. So you can skip a couple of steps. That's kind of hot. All right. Then the other thing, the live photos API, which is basically, when you take a photo, an iPhone will tell you if it's, whether it's a live photo, and if you try to edit the thing, it'll tell you you're going to lose your live photo, whatever. Okay, so Your live photos will be able to instantly be converted into Instagram Boomerang back and forth GIFs files. So generally, when you try to use Boomerang, look at,
Did you get that? The boomerang?
yeah, so, and, usually when you are creating those a GIF file, especially on Boomerang, you have to go through a couple of steps. So basically, what they're doing is they're trying to make it more easier for you to create these GIF files via Boomerang on the Instagram app. So technically, instead of it taking you maybe 4 or 5 steps or 3 steps or whatever, now to basically maybe just 1 or 2. That's always good. That's always good. Less
I
steps,
agree.
the better.
Less steps. Absolutely. And that will entice people to use it more.
You know what? You know, it's funny because I never, even when I create GIF files, I never think to, I hate to say it, but I really never think to use Boomerang when I'm doing it for Instagram. I have a couple of other apps that I do that for, and it just never occurs to me to use Boomerang until I see somebody else use it. It's like, oh,
Well,
yeah, I could have just stayed in the app to do that, but oh well.
they want you to stay on app. Oh, Jay Block has a question for you.
Yes.
Curious with Insta Live, the thoughts on the impact on Snap.
You know what?
So,
I don't think there will
go
be
ahead.
a great impact on Snap at all. In all honesty, I think, well, you've got Team Snap and Team Instagram. And as far as what will happen with this when this iPhone 7 drops, you know, I don't think any major thing is going to change. If that's what you're kind of questioning, if Snapchat will make any big changes or any minor changes to its platform, you know, well, at this point we don't know. It would appear they would have announced it at the event because Instagram showed up. Instagram showed
Yeah,
up at the event. Snap did
they
not.
did.
Yeah. So I don't know.
So, well, if I could add really quickly to that, I think if you look at the case of Periscope versus Facebook,
Mm-hmm.
you know, everybody was like, oh, well, Facebook's going to win. And this, I'm like, right now, they're still kind of mutually exclusive audiences. So the people, it follows that most of the people that use Facebook Live are the people that were Facebook people in the first place.
Yeah.
It draws off of your Facebook audience already. So
Mm-hmm.
think about the Instagram the same way. Instagram is drawing off of the audience that you already have on Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
So they're kind of mutually exclusive. And right now the numbers are showing, according to a lot of different articles, that there is no effect on Snapchat right now. So, but we'll see. Tomorrow it could be a different case.
It could be. It could be. Right now, Snapchat is so quickly growing and growing and bigger and bigger. And it's just like it's going to be. It might very well become something that actually might compete with Facebook for certain, you know, for certain demographics. We won't say for older demographics, but for the most part, Facebook is, you know, still trying to get back that teen, tween, whatever audience that it lost. I mean, it developed a whole app for them. So there you have it. So we'll see. Time will tell. Time will tell.
Absolutely.
And speaking of Facebook, we've got a couple of things popping. Okay, so speaking of content too, we know, and speaking of live streaming, we know there's always going to be somebody doing a live stream, and it'll kind of surprise you that they don't understand. We don't want to see all of that.
Like what, Alice Fuller?
Like you know, stuff that might be a little bit more cleavage than you need to show. You know, you got the boobies out kind of thing, or you got the booty shaking kind of thing. And some people are sensitive, you know, maybe overly sensitive, but it depends on your tastes.
Okay.
So what you define as mature content is strictly up to the beholder, as we know. So because there have been some complaints, and I suspect it was probably some individual who was like, "Ooh, I have my whole audience right here on Facebook. Let me go ahead and get this poll right quick." All right. So just in case
I just happen to have a pole in my house.
Okay, well that should, yeah, but we're not turning, that's the social media scene, not the social media club. Okay, so
No, not me. I'm just saying that's what this person was
oh,
saying.
okay, okay, all right. So you, so what you saying is you don't have a poll, one of those.
Why would I have a pole? No, ma'am.
Okay, I'm just saying. No, no
No,
judgment.
sir, no, ma'am. Green eggs and ham.
Just saying. Any rate, so what's going to happen is Facebook is going to give you. They're testing this now, so don't rush yet. But Facebook is currently testing a way to allow you to literally tell Facebook, look, this is mature content. I really am not kind of feeling this, and it's a bit too much for me. It's a bit too much. So here's what it looks like. Okay, so you can remove mature posts from your news feed. This is what it's going to look like is when it pops up. And then you'll get the option to do other things as far as your community standard, your typical Facebook community standards. So with this, I would dare say, if something does happen to pop up in your news feed, especially concerning live video, you now have a way to say, hey, Facebook, don't show me anything of that ever again in my Facebook life. But like I said, they're just testing this right now, just to test. But 9 times out of 10, if they're testing it right now, give it a couple of weeks. We'll see what happens. I think 9 times out of 10, this is something that's probably needed as opposed to something that's just wanted. So I'm thinking give it a couple of weeks and it will probably roll out officially, that we can go ahead and kind of filter what's mature and what we consider mature content and what not in our newsfeed.
So on that note, there was an article that I actually just saw, probably a couple while we were, setting up.
Yeah.
That it was at Facebook and Zuckerberg being accused of censorship because there was a site that had posted, that famous picture from the Vietnam War, and it was the children that were running, and one of the little girls had no clothes on; she was naked.
Okay.
So of course they put that on the site, and Facebook took it down.
Yeah.
So I'm a little skeptical because I'm like, this is a historical photo, and I do understand the sensitive nature, but that was featured in Time magazine. That was the quintessential framing of what the Vietnam War did to the Vietnamese, and the fact that you can't see this in context. They weren't putting it. In fact, it was a news. If I can look for it, I'll tell you later. But it calls into question that whole thing of censorship. So I'm like, if they're going to do this with a historical photo, it's going to be interesting to see how they treat all these other things.
That's true. It's true. Once again, the what's the word I'm looking for? Mature content, or what we deem as, oh, that's not appropriate, is usually in the eye of the beholder. Because I would dare say there's somebody sitting wherever they may be and saying, you know what, I don't want to see that Facebook. Or it could be, look, that's a little too much for me to see. And even though it's a historical whatever, I didn't like it when Time magazine did it. I didn't like it when da-da-da did it. And I don't want to see it here on Facebook. You always got that audience. So
You do. This has been something that is going back and forth in the courts and, up to the Supreme Court for years, the whole of what is indecency, what is obscenity. So this is there, and there is still no answer.
No.
No.
There's
So
not.
this is going to be happening for a while.
Well, at least with these settings, you can tell Facebook, this thing right that I'm looking that's in my news feed, don't want to see that.
I don't like it. Exactly.
I don't like it. And everybody else, if you want to see it, more power to you. But as far as me and my house or my viewing habits, no. So when that little thing pops up that says, hey, this is mature content, is there a problem? You can say, for me and my profile, it is.
Jay Block says people who use live stream will need to loosen up. Trolls or adult content will only grow, just like on other smaller live stream platforms.
True, that is true. But then too, you gotta realize the future of things, though. Think of it this way, because when you're in the moment of it, it's one thing. But then when you start thinking about, well, look, this is content we eventually want to monetize. And so
Okay.
when you start thinking about how, if we get too lenient in the things we show, how is that going to impact what we're trying to do in the future with, because the next thing we're going to talk about is monetizing live streams. So we know Facebook is coming. Somehow or the other, they're going to figure out a way to put either ads before, after, or whatever in some of these live streams.
And they've already been testing
And
it.
they've already been testing it. So that in and of itself is just like, it's just like, okay, we understand that we got to straddle this somehow or the other. But we also have to serve the board that we have. We also have to serve the people who are our customers, not just our users.
Right.
So
Right.
So now getting
Moving on.
moving on. So as I just said, getting back to the live streaming, the reality of it is too, because this content for a lot of people could be monetized as users, not just Facebook making money off of us or pimping us for money, but as the content creators. Facebook is testing, because everything is a test right now, allowing us to literally ask for donations, or basically put out a tip jar, a virtual tip jar. So technically we can, if we...
Busker. Excuse me.
Indeed. But it's not the only one though, because there's another mobile app, Hang With, that a lot of people don't know about, which came out way even before Periscope, came out even before Meerkat. And they allowed their live streamers to monetize their streams at least, a year, 2 years ago, before it became before it became a thing. So Busker...
They were before their time.
They were before their time. So Busker right now is another you consider it an up and coming, or is it already here? What would you say? Because you use Busker.
I do. I'm a huge Buskerer. If that's the a busketeer. How about that?
Okay.
I'm a huge busketeer. I think, okay, at this point we're talking about Busker being, is it 3 months old?
Is it that
now
young?
At this point?
It's still that young?
It's young. It's still that young.
It's like an embryo.
It's still that young. It is, and there've been a number of things that have come. So you're able to message people within the app, which is cool. You're able to obviously tip, which is the big thing. They're adding functionality. Of course, they released the Android version some weeks back, which upped the number of people. As from the last figure that I saw, I believe there are about 30,000 people that are using Busker. So compared to the millions, that's not a big deal. But again, it's 3 months old. And we're at the point where we've got so many live streaming apps now. Mm-hmm. So
and more are coming. Trust me, more are coming. And they'll probably come out the box with, hey, take donations, get donations. Here's a tip jar, different kinds of ways to monetize your live streams. So yeah, Facebook, come on with it if you're coming. Quit playing with it. Just come on. Because we will put a virtual tip jar on the outside of this stream. So don't be surprised when you see it, people. Don't be surprised.
Pass the collection plate.
There it is. And yes, I do. I don't take personal checks, but
we don't do that. We know where you live.
No. Okay. So, getting back to content and Facebook. Now, all the fan page administrators, if you are a fan page administrator, please move closer to the screen and or turn up the speakers, because this is important. Not that the rest of what we're going to say is not important, but this is unique to us as fan page administrators. You will now be able to more easily share a video, we're talking video content, across multiple business, aka fan pages. Okay? So what you have to do is, let me pull up my little picture here. Ooh, so many buttons. Okay, this is called Facebook cross posting. Okay. Now, what you'll do is on your fan page, you will need to go to your settings. And then when you go into your settings, scroll down to where you see cross posting. And when you get there, you can add pages that you want to give permission to basically post your video on their fan page. Now, it only works if once they get the notification, or the notification that you want their permission, you have to accept it, and then you and the two pages, or however many pages it is, you can start cross promoting videos.
Okay.
Now, for those of us who manage especially multiple pages, and especially when those pages are related to each other, so that, I mean, this is kind of cool because now you can do like a promotion or a contest with another page, and not that you still couldn't do it the old way where you share, you go to somebody's page as a page and you share it, or you go, all the things that you've been doing before. You can still do those things, but this does make it a tad easier. Once again, let's reduce some of these steps that we always go through to do something so simple, generally so simple. And then,
so question, is this for pages you manage, or is this for maybe pages that allow posting, pages that you like?
This is for if you are an admin of a page and say you want to do a cross promotion with another page, and it doesn't even have to be a page that you manage, because that was my first question. This is a page.
Okay, it doesn't. Okay.
This is a page that you want to send. Maybe you want to do a cross promotion kind of campaign with.
Okay.
But the key is the administrator of the page you want to cross promote with. They have to say yes. Let's do this, and then the two, can start cross promoting, or however many pages it's going to be. That's a beautiful thing. Hopefully it'll make life easier for some people, and not to mention, it is always good because people ask me all the time, well, how do I grow my fan page? How do I, if I don't want to pay for ads, or I can't do ads right now, and things of that nature. Doing a campaign or some sort of activity with a related page where you're cross promoting each other, cross promoting content, it's a good way to do it. Get in front of a whole new audience.
A really good idea. That's a really good idea. That's a really, really good idea. But take notes.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, what this really is just another way to get to get video.
No, it is. And,
to incentivize us to use video and share video.
That's all that is. But you know what? I think also you made a good point about this. I think people also really need to realize that organic growth is slow. It's not fast. It's not lickety split. And when you see people that they were, selling apples, and not computers, but apples yesterday, and then the next day they've got like all these followers. So we already know probably where they came from. Organic growth doesn't happen like that. So, but those tips that you gave are going to be exceedingly helpful in terms of exposing your brand to new audiences. So really good point.
That's why they call it organic, people. If you microwaved it, they would call it microwave growth.
Question, and you would probably microwave growth. All right, mutant growth. So Jay Block has a question for you.
Yes.
Have you seen, I'll pose it to you, have you seen any case studies that show live streaming brings organic growth to a page? And I know you pay attention to analytics and statistics for that a lot. Have you seen any of that?
Yes, I can testify to that. Now here's the thing. Right from the start, Facebook is already giving organic reach, more organic reach to video, and specifically live video. That's kind of like their little incentive to us to use more live stream video. So right out the gate, when you're doing live stream video, you're going to get more organic reach. So yes. Then on top of that, the strategy is, while you've got that engagement, you've got more eyes organically, go ahead and put a little money on it and further increase the reach. So if those of you who love to boost posts, that would be a good kind of idea to go ahead and spend what, $4, $5, $20, or whatever your budget can afford, and
Mm-hmm.
get even more reach to build upon the organic reach. So yes, it does. It
Absolutely.
can work, but that I would not say rely on that solely, because you still want to do the things that you would organically do. It's like, I still want to share it. You still want to tell people in your email list. You still can share it to Twitter and all these other places, so that people who are not generally looking at you on Facebook doing live streaming now know that you are live streaming, and maybe they'll come from different places, whether it's your email newsletter list, or if it's your Twitter, or wherever you have a strong audience. They'll come and stay.
Curtis Curtis Brooks says that's a great idea. And hello, Curtis Brooks.
Hey Curtis, how you doing?
Oh, Alice, I can't with you.
What? I'm
But you
not
bring me
flirting. I just said how
such
you.
joy.
I'm just saying how you doing. That's
No,
it.
I didn't say you were flirting. You said you were. Anyway, moving on.
I didn't say I was flirting.
And Curtis says that that's what he's been doing to boost his video. Um, J Block, are you asking for resources? If we have any resources for
Yeah,
case
yeah.
studies?
I am my own case study with that. So that's I'm telling you what I know, not what not. I have my own case study. It does work right now. The only thing is, you take advantage of it while Facebook is allowing us to take advantage of it. They may change their mind next week and say, you know what, we're not giving a boost in organic reach to live video. We're done with that. They could. Let's hope they do not.
I apologize. I have to leave the frame for a minute because my phone, I want charger. Excuse me. So, talk amongst yourselves.
Oh, goodness. Oh, nonetheless. Okay, so I can talk a little bit more about live streaming, because the reality of it is, where you have live streaming video, you will definitely put yourself in a position to have more content. That's one. Two, be able to leverage this live streaming, this content. Remember, once the live stream is over, you have a recorded video. And because you have a recorded video, you now have content that you can actually embed it in a website, in a blog post. You can tweet it. You can do all these other things, just like a YouTube video. Because remember, too, Facebook wants to be your YouTube neighbor. It
Absolutely.
does not want you
Absolutely.
leaving Facebook at all to go and post your videos on YouTube. They want you to post all of your videos for business and for your fun stuff too on Facebook. So when it comes down to, if you are a business and you're thinking of ways, okay, I really got to get this fan page going, or this business page, video. Video. Right now, video is the hotness, and it's the hotness across so many platforms. But where Facebook is concerned, start doing more video, and don't be afraid of it. You don't even have to be seen when you do videos, technically. You can hide behind your screen capture and all these other kinds of things, and still have a decent video and just be voice and graphics.
You definitely can. I think that we've known for a long time that video is where it is because people are visual, because not only are we both filmmakers, we have both teach, we both understand, and understanding pedagogy and understanding students and people, we like what's visual. So of course the next logical thing is that video is going to be big. Everybody, oh, video. Yeah, well, those of us that are video people knew this. We
Yeah.
knew that this was the big thing. So this is no surprise to us. I do think that one thing to consider is presentation style, because when you are on a live stream dictates that you are interactive. That's basically what it is. People are giving you comments and they want to be acknowledged. Otherwise, you're not an effective live streamer. Sorry, call me whatever, but it's the truth. Live stream is about interaction. That being said, that same spirit may not work for everything when you try to repurpose it. So you
Yeah.
have to think about, if I'm going to repurpose this, how am I going to adjust my style for that. So it may be that you have spurts of presentation and then you're like, I see your questions, guys. I'm going to get to your questions. Let me just get this information out so that you have large blocks of information that if you want to edit, you can. And then you'll have that section where you have the questions. So doing a true live stream, if you know you're going to repurpose it, may not work for what you want to do, or it may. You just have to determine for what purpose this video is going to be used. My 2 cents.
Okay. Now, so before we leave Facebook, I want to ask. Speaking of, I want to ask this question of the audience: whose trending topics do you believe most, Twitter or Facebook? And I ask that because if you've kept an ear out, then you know that Facebook has had a little issue this spring, and they got called out a little bit because things were not matching up with the trending topics. So they literally had to kind of readjust some things, because it appears there were some conservatives that were really looking at the trending topics and said, well, how come our stuff never makes it to the trending topics? you can't tell me all them algorithms and all the stuff we got going on Facebook and people talking about us here and there and everywhere. Not one of our little stories made it to the trending topics.
Do you see my face?
So
exactly.
So to be fair, Facebook had to change some things, and in changing some things, they fired some people too. Just gone. And bye-bye. So those journalists that were initially on the trending topics team, and they were the ones, they say, yes, there was an algorithm, but we were also said that we could manually add trending topics to Facebook trending topics. Of course, Facebook says, no, no, we just wanted y'all to make sure to write the little descriptions. We didn't want you to just take over the thing. We do have.
Did they say it just like that?
Of course not. So
okay.
We do have some fairness in place here. And so they fired the little journalists and they brought in engineers. So what you see now with Facebook topics is seemingly more accurate based on yeah. It's not more accurate based on their algorithm. So you won't see a lot of description like you used to. Now when you go to your trending topics on Facebook, you see just a little blurb, like a little word, and you kind of have to hover over it to get a little bit more information. However, these engineers that are in place, they do understand that you do have to have some element of human in it, especially when things get repetitive. And because algorithms can't tell whether this is some spammy mess or not, and somebody's trying to game the system. So there is still some human element in it, but not like it was before. So again, whose trending topics do you trust? Facebook, Twitter?
Well,
I'm on Twitter.
I'm
Team Twitter.
Team Twitter?
Yeah, I'm Team
Twitter. Before I give my 2 cents, Jay Block says he would like to think that Twitter will never compete with Facebook regardless of topic and reach. Mm-hmm. Curtis says based on Twitter trends, and I'm guessing he's saying that Facebook stuff is based on Twitter trends, which I could believe.
Yeah, a little bit.
So here's my thing. Facebook was friends and family first. Yes. That's what they were founded off of. I've had a Facebook account since they began in 2004, when you had to have an EDU account. So I have been on Facebook for the life of Facebook at this point. It was aimed at friends and family, not at being this news thing is new. Mm-hmm. The news feed just turned 10. Okay. So their news feed is 10 years old, just turned 10 years old. Wow. So, but the whole news idea and being a news source is new. This is what Twitter has always done. News agencies have always used Twitter as their way of getting updates out quickly, the 140 characters. Therefore, the foci was different.
She said foci.
Twitter is foci, plural, was different.
You can tell
So
she got a
the
degree.
focus, and sometimes it's bloody useless. But anyway, the focus is completely different that on Twitter's end than it is on Facebook, even though now everything is starting to merge together because of this increased competition. So I don't think that Facebook at this time, and it could change, is positioned anywhere near what Twitter is in terms of news. As such, I trust Twitter's trending topics more than I trust Facebook's, especially with the snafu where they had something trending that was not true. Granted, I get it. It's because you had a whole bunch of, algorithms and machines doing it, and, not enough human checkup. That's your fault. That has nothing to do with me. So I trust Twitter first in terms of what's trending. But again, then we go into this whole trending thing. Trending is really simply meaning who is talking about what the most. Okay. Mm-hmm. That's a frequency distribution. If I may get statistical, how many times people are talking about X versus how many times people are talking about, you don't need an algorithm for that. All you have to do is you get the number of how many times. That is a frequency distribution. So I try it's number of times. And with that, it's like, if you have an algorithm, what are the factors that you're using in your algorithm to determine popularity or trendingness? Mm-hmm. What you like? I sit down off of my soapbox.
That's Proceed. Right, because data can always be manipulated, people. Just keep that in mind.
Absolutely. Absolutely. We can make, absolutely.
Yes, keep that in mind. So. Okay, moving on to Twitter, since we already had that, Twitter vote. Now, for y'all that are listening, I do want to know in the comments below this video, let me know, Twitter, Facebook, when it comes to, you get up in the morning and you want to know what the world is talking about or what your people close by, whatever, are talking about, where do you go first? Is it Twitter or is it Facebook? Okay, I'm curious because I really want to know. All right, so now that said, Twitter is going down in the DMs. Have you heard that song? Have you heard that song, Tachi?
I have not heard that song.
Okay, so I have to show it to you off, off, quote unquote, off air. Okay, so
and I'm sure it's ratchet. Go on.
no,
sure it's ratchet, man.
No, it's not so bad, but it's more about Instagram than it is Twitter to a degree. But still, so it's
okay.
It's an interesting song, but when it comes to Twitter DMs, it is going down in the DMs because Twitter is doing a couple of things that will now allow you to see who has read your DM. Now, for some of you, that might get you in trouble. That might get you in trouble because you've been ignoring a DM for a minute. And and now you're going to be put on blast. I know you didn't read my DMs. I know you... Well, if you know why you keep sending them, duh. So, nonetheless, here's the thing, though. This feature, allowing people to get what do they call it? Red receipts. That's what they're called.
Yes.
Red receipts.
So it's red receipts.
Red receipts. So when it comes,
and it's already rolled out.
It's already rolled out. Now, here's the thing, though. Don't think you don't have any control over it. You do. So here's a little indication of what it might look like. So it's going down in the DMs, as I said, and you'll get a little check mark or whatever to let you know that somebody's read it. Now, if you are a business, especially if you're a business using DMs to better engage with customers and things of that nature, that may or may not work for you too. So you kind of got to leverage that, but at least you have the option to enable that. So that's the plus. That's one thing. So you're not forced. Twitter's not making you do it, but it is an option. So just keep that in mind. Now, the other thing that you'll be able to do in the DM on Twitter is now when you share a link in your DM, you'll get a little preview, like in the picture I just showed. Let me go back to it. That little image of a concert, that was a link that was shared. And so now you'll get a little preview of what they're sending you to. So that's kind of good too, because especially if they're sending you some junk, you might be able to see that in advance and be like, you know what, I'm good. I'll stay. I'm all right.
Mm-hmm.
So that's
Mm-hmm.
good. Third thing that you can do with the DMs. Let me see. So you got the receipts, and then what is it? What is it? Uh, well, I think actually that's it. That's it. That's the big thing.
Yeah.
Is the DM is the receipts. That's the big thing, really.
So the Red Receipts has already rolled out. I think they're rolling these features out over time because I got an indicator yesterday. You can turn that off in your preferences, and
Mm-hmm.
they make it easy to do that. And then they're also talking about having typing indicators, just like
That's what
kind
it
of
is.
when you do Messenger.
Yeah.
Okay, and you already talked about the web link previews.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, there's some more things rolling out, and will probably take place over phases.
Yes. So I don't I'm thinking, what will I use the most of that? The red receipts. I don't know. I probably would turn that off. Probably, but it depends. My clients may like it. They may want to use it. So, but for me personally, that might go either way. I might have to test it. I have to test it. We'll see. So,
Absolutely. Before you continue on, Curtis, you're asking only video. I don't know what that is, what you're referring to. Please put that in the chat. And
yes.
Jay Block has a question: will more global news be video on Scope or on Facebook? I'm just going to go ahead and venture and say Facebook, just because of the quality right now. Periscope's quality is a little bit left to be desired, and unless they're upping that, I can see a lot of news agencies, even community journalists, as they're called, or
Mm-hmm.
citizen journalists, going for Facebook Live above Periscope for those types of things, just because of quality. But just my opinion.
Yeah. Right now, I don't hate to say it because it is what it is. Periscope is going to have to up its game, quick, fast, and in a hurry. Um, you'll find that some marketers will use Periscope for certain things and Facebook Live for other things. But I dare say right now, Facebook is really eating up some of Periscope's audience. They'll probably never admit it. Probably never admit it. And but there are a lot of people, because you're already on Facebook, and we stay on Facebook in many instances longer than we do Periscope. So when you look at just the our habits, just in general, you're on Facebook, you stay on Facebook, you do a live stream on Facebook, your audience is already on Facebook. Periscope, separate app. You're going to have to draw an audience to Periscope. Even if you have a Twitter audience, you still have to pull people, more people, it's a,
Right.
to Periscope. So you,
Facebook and Twitter are mutually exclusive.
yes,
One, even though you can watch a Periscope in a Twitter feed, that doesn't mean that the person has the app. And so if you're not in the app, you can't comment, you can't do any of those things.
that's it.
So,
So there you have it. So at this point, Periscope, come on.
so question
Yes,
for you. Mike Hines, my friend, how are you? He asks, what happens if Twitter gets sold? And like we've been talking about, that's the
yes,
big thing.
yeah.
Twitter is maybe on the selling block. What happens if Twitter gets sold in regards to Periscope? What do you think?
If it gets sold, I'm hoping, because live stream is so hot right now, I don't think they'll detach the two or shut down Periscope at all, because it's beneficial to keep the two together. And if a company should happen to buy Twitter and they don't have a live streaming, tool or app already in place, keep what you got and improve it. Keep what you got and improve it. That's what I
Absolutely.
think will probably happen. I don't think they'll shut down Periscope at all. Matter of fact, even if Twitter is sold, I would dare say they're not going to shut down Twitter and name it something else and that kind of thing. I don't think that's going to happen. Hopefully, they
No.
may reduce some stuff, but I seriously doubt they're just going to change McDonald's into McDowell's kind of thing. that's, that's no.
She's your queen to be.
Yeah, exactly.
So, I would think that if that happens, one of two things could happen. The way that you said that they would just, integrate that into some other things, or better integration with Twitter. So less of two standalone apps and more of a Facebook model where right now Facebook Live is not a standalone app. It is within Facebook itself. I could see that happening. I could see more of an integration as opposed. You can already. So what happens now is when you're in Twitter and you want to go live, it will take you to Periscope, but that only works if you have the Periscope app. So I see a little bit more integration between the two if that happens, but I don't see an 86ing of Periscope.
No, 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 no. It's too much potential in it. Way too much potential. And at this point, some of that potential is still unused. So, that said, we're going to move on to those freelancers. If you're still with me, freelancers, if you are still with me, now is the time to move forward closer to the computer. I'm going to move on to LinkedIn. Now, here's the thing. There has not been a major press release to my knowledge. There's not been a major announcement to this. I just happened to stumble upon this myself in my research. There is a separate website called LinkedIn Pro Finder. It looks like this. LinkedIn Pro Finder. And that basically is linkedin.com/Pro Finder. And what it is, LinkedIn is trying to connect those of us who consider ourselves freelancers to those individuals who want our services. So again, I know. So I felt some eyebrows perk up. Just what? Repeat what you just said. LinkedIn has a separate site called LinkedIn Profiler and Profinder, not Filer. That's a whole different thing.
Yeah.
LinkedIn Profinder, not Filer. LinkedIn Profinder. And what it will do is, as a freelancer, it will better connect you with individuals who are seeking your services. So for those that have ever used like Elance or Odesk, or I'm trying to think of another similar site. But anyway, I can't think of another site right now that kind of connects freelancers specifically with people who want those services. That's what this is. And it's still relatively new. And it's not hard to become a part of it. I have already gotten my ProFinder profile. Wasn't hard at all. And you will kind of have to do a little pseudo application, real easy. Don't overthink it. However, if you are not using LinkedIn that much, or if you have not, and especially if you haven't updated your LinkedIn profile in a while, now would be the time to do so, because they're going to take the information you put on that profile to decide whether you are worthy of being in LinkedIn Pro Finder. So go ahead.
Well, if it's anything like the process to get a blue check by your name on Twitter, I'm done.
It's not.
Okay.
It's not.
Because I'm chopped liver on Twitter, apparently.
So here's the thing. Now I know some people are probably thinking, well, how do I get paid? Is this free? It is free. As of right now, it is free all day, every day. And it is also free for the individual looking for your service. So that's why I'm trying to get folk now. Get on it while it's free. Because eventually, I suspect they're going to figure out a way to say, if you want to be a part of LinkedIn Pro Finder, you're going to have to pay us a monthly fee, or pay for credits and things of that nature, or however they do it to monetize such sites. So get on it now, people, while it is free. I will show you again. This is what it looks like. It is linkedin.com/Pro Finder. Okay. So, Tachi?
Yeah, so before I go on, I want to say thank you to everybody who's watching. Mike Hines, Curtis Brooks, Gary Lanham, Jay Block is still here, I think. And all the people out in Facebook Live land that join us every week, thank you,
Hey,
thank you, thank you.
hey.
Uh, and I think Curtis Brooks says that he's been using this for a while.
Oh, you have?
The This says he's been using it for a while. Let us know how you're liking it and if you're really getting anything out of using it. I'm sure you are.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, you wouldn't be using it. So yeah, just type it in the thing. So yeah, I've got a couple of tidbits for you all. We already talked about Twitter. Let's talk about YouTube now and reversing ad revenue. So what's happening now on YouTube is if you are a creator and you have ad revenue, if it is deemed that your content is not ad friendly, not that your video will be taken down or that your content will be taken down, but you may get ad dollars taken away from you. So a lot of people are up in arms about this, especially those creators. When we talk about a lot of the people that you hear about that are making money from YouTube and that are monetizing YouTube are doing so, yes, from outside auxiliary products related to what they do, but for the most part, it's from ad revenue and ad dollars. And so if that makes up a major part of what you're making off of monetizing YouTube, that could be problematic. But here's the thing. You have to look at the terms of service before you do things, and these things apparently are in the terms of service. So they're finding ways to say it's not quite the same thing. There are been a lot of creators who have called this censorship. Well, no, we have to be careful of using the C word, because censorship is when they will not let you put up your video at all and they take it down.
Mm-hmm.
That's censorship. Not the fact that I took away your stinky little ad dollars. That's not censorship. So when we say things, see, this is why everybody should not be a platform for everything. You make YouTube content, stay there. Don't talk about the First Amendment. I don't want to hear about censorship because you don't know it. Because what you said is not censorship.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the thing with YouTube. So be aware that as it is now, if you have content, if you're trying to monetize on YouTube, but you have content that could be deemed inappropriate, this happened to the Young Turks, okay? And the Young Turks, we're not just talking about Joe or Joanna Blow, YouTube creator. This is a major, they have a show on television and they had ad dollars revoked. So this is something that you have to be aware of. It doesn't mean you can't put your product up or put your content up. You just may not be able to make revenue off of it via ad dollars. Find another way, find another way.
Oh yeah, or
Yeah.
re-edit, come back at it, and come back at it a different way. Put it right back up. Can we get our ad dollars back? Okay. Well,
Exactly.
hey,
Exactly.
technically, if you're a YouTuber and you're doing YouTube videos as a business now, of course, you want to satisfy your audience. I mean, that's what's helping you make money. But at the same rate, when it comes down to this, now that there's so much ad dollar circling around your content, I would think you would want to add content that satisfies somewhat both. I'm not saying you got to sell out. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is you can find a way to kind of satisfy your audience and satisfy, the ads. People have been doing it in TV for generations. So
Absolutely.
YouTuber, trust me, you can find a way.
You can find a way. I think the thing is they don't want to find a way
Uh-uh.
because the web is supposed to be so much more. They want to be able to curse and be able to do all these things. The reason things work in network television is because there are those FCC restrictions that, the seven deadly words and all of those things, the things that you cannot do in network, some things that you can do on cable, and even then there are restrictions. So if you're not willing to play by FCC rules, then know that you probably will get dinged for some things, and that could be one of them. Now, that's not erasing free speech. Guess what? Guess what? There are other ways to say things that still bring the same idea across.
Mm-hmm.
There are a lot of people that manage to do it.
Yeah,
So,
and there's other ways to make money. And technically, if you're a YouTuber and you're making that kind of money, if you're smart, you can still leverage your audience a different way and still make money, and it not be from ads. Hello.
First of all, I hope you're diversifying and doing something else with this newfound wealth, because you can't be a YouTube star forever. I'm just saying, maybe, tastes change. So I hope you're using that to do something bigger and greater. But I'm not your financial advisor, so it is what it is. Curtis Brooks says it's perfect for those who have more of a direct message. And Mike Hines said, whatever happened to YouTube Connect? We are asking ourselves the same thing. We would have thought, I would have thought that it would have come out during the is it IE or IO developers conference that Google does.
Yeah.
I thought they were going to make the big announcement then in May. They did not. Now they have talked about the fact that YouTube Live and Google Hangouts are going to merge together, but still nothing about YouTube Connect, making all of us that report this news look stupid. So I don't know. I don't know what they're doing. I don't know what their MO or their game is, and or their date of arrival. What the hell ever. When it's time, it will just happen.
Yeah,
we'll know. And you know what? They're not beholden to any of us. They're like, look, MFs, when we feel, like doing it, that's when we're going to do it. And not a moment before, not up anymore. So what can we do but waste? And Jay Block asks, is there any reason to use YouTube Live at this point?
Yes.
Go ahead.
There is, because... And I see Curtis has a question too about FCC rules or YouTube ad clients. Well,
it's the ads.
It's the ad clients. FCC is a whole nother. That's more traditional.
That's a different realm altogether.
Yeah, it's a different realm altogether. But once again, because you are doing business with companies are not going to align themselves with certain content, and you're cursing and you're doing things that don't fit into their overall brand. That is it's not good business. So it is,
right.
It is what it is. Okay, so the other question is YouTube Live. Now, Facebook Live versus YouTube Live. Yes, you can do a lot on both. Yes, you can do some of the same things on Facebook Live that you can do on Facebook Live. But you got to remember, here's where the C's part. YouTube is still connected to search. They're doing things on YouTube Live that people are not even thinking and have been doing things. There are major concerts, when President Obama speaks, all of that stuff is being done on YouTube Live, because you know why? Because where YouTube Live is concerned, it's YouTube. It's global. Sometimes when we use Facebook, we have a tendency to think, oh, my friends, my family, or the people on my fan page. Remember, Facebook is all about Facebook. At the end of the day, it's all about bringing more eyes to Facebook. YouTube, on the other hand, not that it doesn't have its own interest, but when you think video, we think YouTube first. And not only that, because depending on your demographic, everybody watches YouTube videos. Technically, you've got YouTube celebrities now. You don't hear people saying you got a Facebook celebrity, do you?
Nobody's Facebook famous. Facebook is after the fact.
Facebook is after the fact.
You can create celebrity on YouTube. You can create notoriety on YouTube. You don't create it on Facebook. And that's the thing. Facebook is a tandem right now. They're trying to be your be all and end all, but right now it's just a tandem. So that is one reason. But I think the big thing is a usability and ease of usability. A YouTube Connect would make it really easy because it's like 1, 2, 3, go. I get that. So, but it's probably best to get on that wave right now. And like you were saying, Jay, I think it really depends on who your audience is. So if for you're trying to get a wider reach, the widest reach is going to be with YouTube, obviously, and not Facebook.
No, some may argue that, and they probably would argue us down to the mat, wrestle us down to the mat. But at the end of the day, here's what's real. When you do a search on Google, you know what comes up first? Especially now, Google videos are now on the first pages of search. Facebook videos are not.
Exactly. And who's YouTube? Google /
Google.
Alphabet. So that's what you have to look. You also have to look at all these relationships in terms of who gets what. So if Google is a primary search, yes, your YouTube videos are going to get pushed first. So Jay Block says with 1 billion, it's actually 1.7 billion Facebook users now. You don't know about YouTube Live, and I understand that. But remember, there are still people on Facebook Live that don't even know Facebook Live exists. Not everybody is. That's your possible audience, but not your probable audience. Mike Hines says, I see more celebs using Facebook Live now. Yes, because they're trying to pull in celebrities. Absolutely.
And you know why?
Absolutely.
Because celebrities like to be paid to do things.
They're getting paid. Yeah.
Many of them are getting paid. There are many publishers, media companies. Facebook is putting out big money to get celebrities.
They're not doing it out of the goodness of their hearts.
No, not at all. So they're trying to catch up to YouTube. And so that's why they're putting out so much money. And that's the one thing the celebrities are not going to tell you when they first put out Facebook mentions, which is the same thing as Facebook Live. Facebook mentions for the celebrity and those people with certain verified accounts could live stream. But you know why? Because Facebook is making it rain all over.
I can't with you. I can't. They really are, though, making it rain. You're absolutely right. So here's the thing. There's an incentive for a celebrity to do that. Is there an incentive for a celebrity to do it on YouTube? Not necessarily.
No, that's YouTube at this point is putting out as much money. But trust me, when it comes to movie trailers, when it comes to certain other things, the studios and everything else, they know a lot of times they're not just going to put anything on Facebook and let it stay there.
Right. Exactly. It's not going to reach as many people as it could, because this is the thing. We keep harping on the 1.7 billion users. Yes. Of those 1.7, how many people use it on a regular basis? I know we can all point to people that are like, girl, I'm never on YouTube. I only use it for, Facebook. I only use it for XYZ. I have at least 10 people that I know that have Facebook accounts that never use it. So multiply that by that 1.7. If we all use 10, know 10 people, that is a fewer number than we think. So you have the possible reach. I think this is where we get confused. So numbers of people on a platform does not mean numbers of engaged people on a platform.
That is it. 1.7 million are not watching this.
So, hell no. But 1.7 million could possibly watch it, but they're not. Right?
So, all right. So, did we answer the question?
Curtis Brooks has YouTube doesn't have to pay celebrities. But here's the thing. How many celebrities are on? First of all, Facebook Live is new. Facebook Mentions is still new. Remember, all this harp on live video is a new thing for Facebook. New in general, but new for Facebook. If I want people to use this, I have to get celebrities involved. The only way celebrities are going to be involved is if I pay them. They're not doing it to be nice.
No.
Okay. So yeah, you're going to have that push by Facebook to pay celebrities. Now, not that YouTube does not, okay? Because there's been this thing of Facebook trying to woo people away from YouTube. This is a very real thing. However, the possibilities with YouTube reach far greater because, number one, they've been in the game longer. They've been doing live video for like 11 years, okay? Yep. So they've been in the game longer. That doesn't mean rest on your laurels, but they've been in the game longer. Number two, they actually have the capacity to create stars, to create, for all intents and purposes, you could say YouTube is like a studio. Okay?
YouTube is a studio.
YouTube is a studio. Facebook does not have that notoriety yet. That doesn't mean it won't happen. I agree that this could possibly happen, but it's not there now. So if we're looking towards the future, I absolutely think Zuckerberg is going to do everything they can to become the YouTube of the South. Okay, but
YouTube of the South.
I'm just saying, how they say that, like the Hollywood of the South is Atlanta. I'm saying the YouTube of the South.
Okay.
I think they're trying to do that, be all and everything, but they're not there now.
No.
And so I think that while you can, the other problem with YouTube though is saturation. There are an awful lot of people on YouTube. It's very difficult to get things, but again, the search is on your side for that. And you can't just rely on a platform to get your stuff pushed out there. You have to do the legwork.
Now
I sit down now.
Here's another level too, because going back to YouTube being a studio, understand at this level, YouTube is a studio because they physically have production studios across the country. I have been to the YouTube studio in LA. It is a producer's dream in there. Studio, you got cameras, you got lights, you got people to help you set stuff up. Everything is there for you as a content creator and or a producer. And I guarantee it, when more celebrities, especially the ones who are in front of the camera, realize you can have just as much power behind, and some of them are beginning to realize that now, they'll start using YouTube more.
And then don't forget, we've got YouTube Red, which is the whole distribution, the subscription and that distribution. And so we're talking about, and okay, they've already produced, they're producing television shows. They're already producing documentaries. Okay. So
and viewership,
this is just
rivals TV viewership.
Exactly. Facebook is not there yet. Even though everybody's saying TV is dying, no.
They just switching.
TV is evolving. TV is evolving. And advertisers, at the end of the day, it's all about ad dollars. And if advertisers still think traditionally, then guess what? The majority of ad dollars are still going to go to traditional platforms. That does not mean that it will not change. Guys, I think this is the thing. Media and social media is always in flux. This could change tomorrow. So what you guys are talking about now is the potential for XYZ, not what actually is, okay? So those are two different things. The potential for and what actually is are two different things. So tomorrow, Facebook could be as big or bigger than YouTube, and it can happen. But that is not the case right now in terms of what you can do with it video-wise.
J Block says archive video goes directly to YouTube. How was that? Archive Facebook video does not go directly to YouTube. Once you post a video on Facebook, unless you save it over there, because Facebook and YouTube, they are not friends.
In fact, they really don't want. So are you somehow archiving your video, or are you getting this, repurposing it, and then posting it on YouTube? That's a different thing altogether. Yeah. Unless there's something we don't know about. Oh, you upload the video to YouTube. Yeah. So it's not automatic. They don't really like each other.
They don't like each other at all.
This is why native videos get pushed higher on Facebook than YouTube video. Because everybody posts YouTube videos, but you're gonna see native videos first because they don't really like each other too tough.
No, and remember when you post a YouTube video on Facebook, remember you used to get a nice little thumbnail. And it was all pretty in your news feed to grab your attention. Not anymore. You get like a sliver of a little image, and then you get some text, the metadata.
Like one eye.
You get a little bit of metadata. Facebook doesn't even want you posting YouTube videos on its platform anymore. So.
So there is one more thing that I have for you all. In case we made mention of this before, it is New York Fashion Week. This is like my favorite time of year. I absolutely love September because of the fall. Well, actually, this is for the spring New York Fashion Week. And so there are a couple of things that are going on. If you are a Snapchat user, you will notice that Vogue is now in the Discover section, which is a new thing. And of course, the AIM, New York Fashion Week. So you can take a look at what's going on New York Fashion Week through the eyes of the Vogue in the Discover section on Snapchat. You can also, for the past few years, they've been live streaming it in, so you can catch the shows. And J Block, I know you know about New York Fashion Week because you did some stuff last year. So New York Fashion Week is being streamed live on www.nyfw .com, and you can watch these shows live streamed. So there's also a lot of tweeting going on about that. If you do the hashtag NYFW, you will see all the tweets. But that is the big news and what's new in social media this week. New York Fashion Week.
Yay. Okay, so I'm gonna get back to a couple of things I want to talk about. Where for those of you who do use the mobile app of LinkedIn, hashtags. Hashtags are big almost all platforms now. And as much as it bothers me to see hashtags on LinkedIn on the desktop version, LinkedIn understands its audience is moving more toward the app in many instances. So for those of us who use LinkedIn almost every day, the LinkedIn search has been improved. So now when you're on your mobile app, this is not desktop, this is straight up the mobile app. Go into the very top. Here, I can show you better than I can tell you. Almost. When you go to the top, you can see posts, and then you can get a very defined result for searching for certain keywords. Now, we didn't have this before. You had to do a little extra before, but now they're making it even easier to find content, to find the people that are creating the content that you want to know more about, and the fact that once again, now that hashtags are searchable on the mobile app, not the desktop, because I tested this myself a couple of times. So you're going to see more and more people throwing up these hashtags all willy-nilly. I'll get over it. But if you're using the mobile app of LinkedIn, cool, you can tap it, you'll get a search result. If you're looking at LinkedIn on your desktop, it's just words with a pound sign in front of it. It has no effect at all. So for those of you who are creating LinkedIn, who are using LinkedIn Pulse, I would dare say now is not the time to start throwing hashtags all over the place. Please don't, because you still want the content to be read in a certain way. So just know that as far as the mobile app is concerned, you've got some better search capabilities. So I think everybody's trying to push people toward mobile. Even Facebook with the Messenger and LinkedIn with all this other stuff. So that's what it is for those of you who do use LinkedIn on a regular basis.
Well, mobile is more international. When you think about when you're especially in emerging markets, people are accessing the web and accessing applications through mobile and not through desktop.
That's
simply
true.
because more people have mobile phones in different African countries, Southeast Asian countries, and Latin American countries than have laptops or desktops.
That's true.
So I think that this move towards mobile is also a move to make it more internationally friendly.
Okay. Bye, Jay. Thanks for coming in.
Love you.
Curtis, you asked videos for LinkedIn Future. Here's where I think that will go.
It's happening.
It's happening, but they're testing it. They're testing it with the quote the influencers, giving them 30 seconds of time to talk about a topic that LinkedIn probably gives them. They give them a kind of like a broad question. They get 30 minutes or whatever, 30 seconds to respond to it. That's just a test. If that thing goes well, I'm hoping they will open that up to everybody. But here's where that's a slippery slope, and I hate to say it. Some people are leaving Facebook and coming over to LinkedIn. And so now I'm seeing more posts about people's births and birthday parties. My mama died. No disrespect to your mama, but I'm not here for that.
That's not what LinkedIn is for. No. No, condolences, but that's not what LinkedIn is for.
That's not what LinkedIn is for, but I'm beginning to see more and more of the more personal, not that you can't be human when you're doing business, but the stuff that you would typically categorize as Facebook content is becoming more LinkedIn content. And if you add video to that, I'm a little fearful where that's going to go. I really am. I'm a little fearful. However, maybe if they make it a premium, part of the premium, if you pay for whatever the premium package is for LinkedIn, maybe they'll add video to that.
I think that's a good idea on the tiered
The
subscription.
tier description. Yep.
Add it to that because I'm
It's
sorry,
a slippery
regular
slope.
folks
Don't mess.
cannot. We've already proven that we have no couth
Shea butter.
with the shea butter. Okay, when Sheree Ray's Ribs comes on and does a commercial that will be like
Oh
17 minutes
gracious.
long, we don't understand. First of all, people really don't understand how to properly use video. And again, I don't want to be the video police because I think there is room in the space for different types of things. However, as a trained filmmaker, videographer, and understanding storytelling and understanding all of that, there's a way that's more effective than just getting on and saying, come talk to me, I'm bored, in the case of a Periscope or in the case of a Facebook Live. And in the case of a LinkedIn, then saying, okay, well, we're having a seminar. We're going to broadcast the whole thing, even the boring parts. There's a nuance, I think, to using video that a lot of us don't get. And that's where the disconnect is, and that's what needs to be kind of connected. That doesn't mean don't do your own thing. It's doing your own thing more effectively.
And technically, right now, you can add
I'm
video.
sorry.
You can add video to. Somebody said something crazy.
Curtis said a twerking contest on LinkedIn.
No, on you know
Don't
what?
laugh because it could happen.
It could happen.
It could happen.
Yeah, I dare say it could happen. But you can now add video to YouTube. I mean, you can now add video to LinkedIn via YouTube. All you have to do is just click the little section that you want to put the video in, copy and paste the YouTube URL, pop it right into the little page they're going to give you, because they're going to ask you for that URL, put a little description in there, and boom, you got a YouTube video on LinkedIn.
That's another thing. I mean, going back to what we were talking about before in terms of the Facebook Live versus YouTube Live, here's the thing. So YouTube videos are going to get archived. I teach completely now online. Every Blackboard, every Desire to Learn, every classroom management system has a YouTube link, though none of them have Facebook Live links. That doesn't mean that it won't happen. But when you're talking about, and you're talking about now reaching millions of people, when you talk about those things, when you talk about all of these different schools that have classroom management systems where you can automatically embed, and it's always a YouTube video. Even when you look at things for presentation software, you look at Prezi, you look at emails, it's always a YouTube video. Some of them have Vimeo. So we're not just looking at the available people to reach on the platform. We're also looking at possible reach because it's included in so many other software programs. So that's another thing. Again, doesn't mean that can't happen for Facebook.
That indeed is true. So we've been on an hour, I do believe. Yes, it's in the
Longer than that.
longer
Right?
than
A
that.
little bit longer.
And so
Yeah.
whatever stories I have left will be saved for next week. So that will give you reason
Yes.
to come back next week, and hopefully next week, the production will be a better one as far as some of the technical issues we had starting. But other than that, please, you know what? At the in the comments of this video, if there is something you want us to talk about, let me know, or let us know, because we need ideas. If there's something that you've heard that it's like, hey, did y'all know about this? Hey, please put it in the comments on the video. Please, and please let people know about the show. You can share this video or share some other ones. And yes, the show is on YouTube. It is. Yes, I do. After the live is done, I have them posted on YouTube to reach a whole new audience that's not on Facebook.
Absolutely.
So
So I do have something that I want to say before we go. So next week, I will be live from Social Media Week Miami. If you don't know, next week is Social Media Week. It's happening concurrently in 4 cities around the world. I believe it's Miami, Mumbai, Copenhagen, and something else. Please don't get me to lying. But if you go to socialmediaweek.org, it will tell you all the cities that are presenting Social Media Week sessions. You can also watch the sessions for free on live stream. So from Social Media Week Miami and probably all the other ones as well. So I will be live at Social Media Week Miami. So I'll be doing the show from Miami, which is
Free?
just down the road.
Are they still
Yes.
free, or are they making people pay for live stream
Social
content now?
York. Social Media Week New York makes
Oh.
people pay for their live stream content, and then certain other ones, because each city kind of governs their own the way they run it. So in Miami, they're not making people pay, but I know that New York now has started making people buy packages to see the live stream sessions.
Okay.
But in Miami, we're not doing that. And plus, I will also be live streaming on Periscope and Facebook Live and doing Anchor and tweeting and everything, so you guys can see what's going on,
Yes.
especially the session that I'm moderating. I'm moderating a session, so on social media.
Yay. What's the session?
Yeah. I can't remember the session. It is I can't remember the title, but it is looking at selling your something to the effect of selling your social media presence. And so it's looking at people that are using social media in sales. So we have somebody from a big group down here that deals with travel to the Caribbean and a bunch of different people. But there are going to be a bunch of heavy hitters here too. So we've got people from Twitter, people from Snapchat that are going to be speaking. It's going to be really nice. So I will be live streaming. So
Okay. Well,
tune
you
in. But
you need
this show will be from there.
Okay. So, and you need to let people know who are you on Periscope.
My handle for everything is at Tachiada, at TACHIADA.
Okay. Y'all spell it again and slow, cause some people.
So T as in Tom, A, C as in cat, H, I, A, D as in dog, A, Tachiada. That is a mashup. That is not my real name is Chitachi, but so
Oh yeah. Oh,
at Tachiada.
that's so less difficult.
No, but see, the thing is, I've already confused a bunch of people, but that's fine. That's fine because everybody thinks, hey, Tatiana, and I'm in my head, I'm like, that's not my name, but all right. I chose that because Tachi was taken as a handle everywhere because Tachi is also a Japanese name. So there are a bunch of Tachis, and I was not wanting to put numbers after. So I said I'm going to use my middle name and my nickname. That's how I got Tatiana.
Okay, there you have it, people. You know where to find her throughout the week. And next Friday, we'll be broadcasting. One of us will be broadcasting live from Miami.
Yes.
And
Half an hour down the road.
Yeah. Yes. So it's Friday. Have a good weekend. Thank you for watching, and we will see you next week. Now I gotta
Bye,
push.
guys.
Bye. Thank everybody for coming. Oh, and thank you for commenting. We love to talk, as you can see, and so
This was great.
yeah, we like to talk a lot. Goodbye, everybody.
Peace and love.